Aha! And we're back, so it worked. Okay, excellent. Welcome to our little weekly, Web3 intercontinental interviews, whatever you want to call them.
Our weekly NFT Web3 soiree.
Yeah. So let me bring up my screen. I was telling Marshall, I was telling Somebozo and Marshall when you were getting your water that we did have a look at some of his work last week a bit, and that I think you're looking forward to hearing more about it. So here, let me promptly switch to. Should we start with the Instagram, perhaps? Yeah, is that the best one?
Have a look at what. Yeah, I just uploaded today.
Oh, these are new. Oh, my friend,
okay.
3 hours ago. Yes. Yes. So, in fact, I guess I was right. Marshall Somebozo is in Israel. So, are these recent inspirations from your stay from being there? I know you were talking about being in the desert.
Yeah, definitely. The desert is a big fascination of mine. I always loved it. Everywhere I've been to, where there is a desert, I'm going.
Oh,
So,
really?
Yeah.
What draws you to the desert more than the forest? Let's say.
I don't know. It's the open. I remember the first time I saw a desert, in Israel when I was a kid.
Yeah.
It's just it was an overwhelming feeling that when you see, almost the fear of open spaces. When you see like the horizon and there is nothing, like you don't see the end of it.
Yeah.
Like when, I don't know, most of us don't remember the first time we saw the sea or.
Yes, I was about to say the ocean, the open sea gives me a bit of that anxiety.
Yeah, so this anxiety intrigued me, and I kept coming back, like going back to the desert, sometimes alone, sometimes with friends. But it always fascinated me. It's like being on another planet almost,
Yeah, and it's funny that you say that, because I'm looking here at the Space Conquistadors. I'm getting just that, the spaceship, the discovering uncharted waters. I really like
exactly.
the blue
it's always
version
like
here.
the unknown. It's always the feeling of the unknown.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I love this artwork a lot, for sure.
And I really enjoy. So you have this kind of, there's this duality, the two heads, the animal with two heads again. Is it like any kind of representation of some sort of alter personality, or does that have anything to do? Does that
totally? You got it. I mean, I always felt a bit split. My personality, I always have an alter ego. Also, my name, Sombozo. It's a name I got from being a street artist for a while. And I always felt like I have to have an alter ego. When I'm making my art, I always become almost someone else,
Okay.
And so I always have this this personality I'm taking. I'm putting on a mask almost.
Yeah.
But it's still me.
Of course.
Okay.
No,
the same guy.
I think that's exciting, though, when you're an artist, that you have that freedom to do that.
Yeah, I discovered it when I was a street artist. Just I can be like anyone. No one knows me. No one sees my face, and I love that feeling that you can just be hide almost behind an alter ego, another name.
Yeah. Well, and it allows you to speak your mind almost freely in a different way, because it perhaps feels like less consequences. What really strikes me here, my friend, too, is the sense of magnitude of, again, perhaps with the desert, like the sense of scale that you are able to achieve here, the large floating rock with the mask with the face on it. It's enchanting. I find it's mesmerizing to see.
Yeah, recently I got back to the desert, and I wanted to get this across, to create the feeling that I get while I'm in there. Not even while I'm in there. It's like what it creates in me. Sometimes it's the dreams. I wake up and you know the time when you wake up and you're almost half asleep and you try to catch that almost dreamy feel. Like I try not to forget my dreams. I wake up and I sketch it.
Oh, really?
On the go, yeah. Sometimes I do that.
That's very good exercise.
Yeah. So this is to catch something. In general, to make art is sometimes to try to catch something that is almost untouchable, unreachable. You know?
It's strange how that is too, especially with dreams. You can just have them, but they can be so vivid and they're so fleeting at the same time. But trying to capture that, I definitely see it in your art. It looks really good.
It's something hard to catch. I always try.
Yeah.
But it's very hard to touch it.
It's again, looking at your work, it's a deep dive, into, or like it gives me the I'm having a look into your mind, into it. Like, if this is the stuff you dream about, what a wonderful world you have. And my question now is, when you go out into the desert, when you say you go alone, sometimes you spend the night, you go camping out there?
Yeah, I do. Okay. I love to do that whenever I can. Like in the last years, I didn't get to do it so much as I want to, but yeah, it's like something like a retreat, just to get away from everything, to clear my mind completely.
Yeah,
it's like to open a new sketchbook,
Yeah. I wanted to ask you also, because now as we are going down the Instagram here, there's a clear kind of I see caterpillars coming up and up. Is it because of a fascination perhaps for Alice in Wonderland?
Or... I was wondering the same thing.
Also, yeah, psychedelia in general.
Psychedelia.
Yeah,
metamorphosis.
Metamorphosis. Yeah. It always. I never come across as a psychonaut, but in some ways I am. I always like.
But that's the thing. I mean, those visions or higher vibrations in which the universe operates, you can tune into them without psychedelics, right? It's just the vibrational.
True.
Frequencies of the world, I guess.
There was one I think you just scrolled across too that reminded you of an older video game. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, Sombozo, is this a reference to what is it?
I know
MDK. The
MDK. Wow, yeah, MDK. Yeah, MDK was one of the games that you just changed my creative life. It's one of those things amazing, that I just love. Just yesterday, I was looking up, I just watched the whole gameplay from start to finish, just hoping the third one will come someday.
My God. I remember being a very young kid at my nanny's, and her husband had a computer. He was very into tech and such, and he would let me play the games I never got to play. One of them was MDK. I remember exactly, still jumping with the weird parachute and the gun that's attached to the arm. Oh my God.
This was for me the first really good sci-fi representation. I'm a big sci-fi buff.
Yeah.
So for me it was so the guys who created it were so loose-minded. It didn't take it so seriously, and they just let their. It's very open-minded game. It's very from my point of view, it's this psychedelic sci-fi. It's
absolutely well, in the second one, the dog that has the four arms with the Uzis and the crazy professor.
He was also in the first one, but he was
also in the first one. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. It's so funny. We have even though we grew up in different parts of the world, there's a lot of the similar influences because it's a very obscure game and not a lot of people have had the opportunity to play it.
I wish more people knew my inspirations. I think when I grew up in the 90s, I got exposed to the best artistic anything. I think it was a renaissance for my kind of visuals
Absolutely.
and ideas.
I also feel like on a side note, for like the 90s, that was like the most artistically original video games that came out. A lot of those
I
are spawned
agree,
off of
man.
that
I
today, I
agree.
feel like.
I agree because it was a pioneer time. It was a
Absolutely.
time when today I think companies think like they think like what the audience, they think too much about pleasing the audiences, and I liked the freedom that we had back then, like to create it. It's still beautiful for me. I go back when I want to watch something really good. I go back to Eon Flux. I go back to stuff like that, psychedelic weird stuff.
Oh, that's great. I actually watched a very, I guess, obscure, I didn't know it was from the 1971 THX 1138, this George Lucas film about this.
It's his first, I think.
Yeah.
It's amazing stuff.
It's very with Robert Duvall as actor, and like just it was very interesting, and it had a lot of the when I'm looking here at this one, for example, a lot of black and white. And it was the movie isn't in black and white, but this focus on colorless, and I love what you're doing here with this porcelain-like effect. The no face, very smooth.
I always try to get across. Some of it is like visuals. I almost like that creates sometimes anxiety for me. It's faceless. It's only form. I like forms. I used to sculpt a lot. I used to sculpt in true materials. So sometimes it can look beautiful, but it's also like something that creates almost fear in me, like almost something alien.
Because like the dog again here is a recurrent image. So this is the similar dog that you have in the desert images.
Yes, I love this. I love Saluki dogs. It's like this very graceful form.
But the no eyes, no mouth. It's
it's like turns it almost into an alien. Which I like.
Yeah, I like that about it too. It's something like distant but also near. You're like, it looks so unique, but it looks like something as well. I love that about your art.
And I love that I find it very, very nice how you're capturing motion and movement, the slow walk and like the gaining rapidly here. It's very, very, I mean, excellent work, my friend. I'm just glad that we could put some more eyes on it. This one here stood out to me. I wondered if you could tell me a bit more about this one.
I didn't think deeply so much about it. It's just sometimes I create something out of a feeling. I don't think much. But what I did think when I was creating it was someone who's like my feeling was I was fed up with life and I just wanted to look at the stars, something like that. Like almost
it's a viewing thing almost.
That's
cool.
Like
to me, I'm glad that you say that now, because at first I felt it was like the figure was pushing, almost like Sisyphus pushing the rock up, or something like that endlessly.
The feeling was like that when I was creating it, and back then when I did this one, most of my work was this flowing soft materials, and suddenly I felt like I hit a rock. I felt really harsh with myself. I felt really bad, so I wanted to get across the feeling that it's something hard, like this is a hard material, like almost sculpted out of rock.
No, it's very nice, but I can see it now being almost like a telescope or something as well.
Yeah, sometimes I get out of my I do it without having the intention, but I get out of my current. You see, I change a lot. I get out of my current style, and I'm trying not to get fixed on something and do only that.
Well, that's the thing. Sometimes I'm confused. Well, not confused, but people say, well, an artist has a certain style. But like you say, I don't want to limit myself to just doing oil or just acrylic. Like I went yesterday, bought some shoes. I'm gonna do some paint on some shoes.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Like I always envy the artists who have like a really fixed set of like a fixed language of art, and I always try to pursue it, and then I thought, I shouldn't try. It's just it will come with time,
Organically.
and yeah. So when I feel like doing something that is out of character, let's say, out of my language, I do it. I do it anyway. I might not publish it, but I still try my hands in many forms, in many mediums of art. I had the luck the course of my life to touch almost any, like all forms of art. Like I did, if it's sculpting and painting and just going at night in the streets and just bombing graffiti, and like I did everything. So for me, it's almost a need to create.
Yeah, well, and I find it very motivating again to exchange words and thoughts with you when we spoke on Twitter Spaces a while ago. And I probably again after today I'm gonna get right to work, because talking to you gets me going. You know.
I'm always free, man, to talk whenever, man. Just give me a call. We can talk for hours. I know.
Absolutely,
man.
and I went and looked up Mobius and
Mobius,
the Inca, and that. Yeah, I went and had a look at that stuff, man.
I was so glad that you didn't know it. I was so envious of you. I'm just, he's gonna like discover a world,
I wanted to now point out this one here on the screen is, for example, a different language than the previous ones. Is very graphic. It's almost like a graphic design that you have here for
sometimes
like
I try.
cover.
Yeah, I was exactly. I was thinking about album covers. Also lately, I'm trying to, like, I listen to a lot of, one of my inspirations are stoner rock, psychedelic rock. I love that shit. So I'm trying my hands in anything. Like what I like, I want to create. What I have in me, I will get out. So this is like, I have to do it. Yeah.
No, and like you have posted so much fantastic work on here. Like this is amazing too, man.
Yeah, it's fear. It's something that, like, it looks like my friend told me it's not so scary. I told him, yeah, but it's what I had like in mind. It's like just alien.
This like swan on legs with tentacles with the offering.
Yeah, it's also a scene that comes back. You'll see, like, if someone looks at my page and go back, like stuff, it's like a cycle. It always comes back.
Yeah, there's a recurrent imagery. Oh, I like this kind of cat woman that I haven't. Some of them I have not even discovered yet. This is very fun too. Cat woman walking the dog or something.
Yeah, something like that. Some of them I created. I was about to make a drop and I didn't. It's a long story, but some of them I make like a sculpture, like like GLTF files, like GLB files that you can just rotate around and look at it. I don't post much videos, but maybe I should. Some of them are really like sculptures.
I like those rabbits right there. I was just
man, yeah, look at this.
Yeah, something weird, and I don't know. It's not psychedelic in the old sense. It's just maybe the lore of psychedelia, like Alice in Wonderland and like almost the legends about. Like
that's the thing. There's a language. I mean, here with the omega sign, there's a whole
stuff
bunch
that always comes back. Yeah, always comes back. It's not, you would think I invest deep thought, but not always. Sometimes I just do. I don't even
let it come to you.
Yeah, I don't even think about it. I just, some of them I do think about, but most times I'm just not even sketching much. I'm just sculpting, you know.
And when you say sculpting and sketching, so you do now mostly everything on 3D or the computer, but you said you did do real material before. What was your material of choice?
At first, it was steel.
Oh yeah, nice.
I used to weld, and like I really wanted to. I also made horseshoes, but it hoofs.
Okay.
Like I used to make. I used to work in it just because I liked the material. And I went to study with a very, very famous artist, sculptor in Israel.
Yeah.
And he taught me to. He told me first you need to go to stone. Okay. So I started stone carving.
Oh yeah.
And I started with him for about a year or a year and a half. I don't even remember, but this guy was a big. He taught me a lot.
Yeah.
And with him, I did also clay and like polymers, and I thought, you know, okay, when I finish studying, I don't have my own studio. I don't have my own, like, it wasn't always a job to make art, you know.
Yeah.
So I just thought I can just buy a Sculpey, Super Sculpey, and just any other polymer, like it's like really good clay. So sometimes I do that too. I love Sculpey. Yeah, Sculpey it's amazing. You know, you can do anything with it.
Excellent product.
I really want to get back to it. But anything that is moldable, you know. So lately, in late years, it was Sculpey. It was stuff like Sculpey that I was working with. Maybe it's a shame that I didn't share much of my physical works.
Oh well, it's never too late, right?
Yeah, maybe I would do it.
This is some of your hand sketching.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is pretty old. Maybe you can find better.
Oh, I'm just going all the way down now, my friend. You know,
But, it's really back.
But so it's super nice to see the evolution of your progress, and again,
it's always time in my life. You know, it's a certain feeling that I had back then. You know, it's like a diary almost. You can see what I was thinking, what I was feeling. For me too, it's like a portfolio, not portfolio, but like a diary. Like at certain times, my mind is invested in certain things. And it always changes. And like a cycle, it changes and comes back to the same things. That's what I see when time goes by.
The influences are so funny because out of all the chess pieces that you could have chosen, you chose the bishop, which is also a piece that I've drawn and I've been fascinated by. I don't know why. It's very interesting. I would love for you to print or make a chess board. You know,
this one I did print.
You did?
Yeah, I have a 3D printer.
You do?
Yeah, I'm about to sell it because I bought this printer like 5 years ago or maybe more, and the maintenance of it was so harsh.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah, but a lot of what you see here I printed.
In like small size.
Yeah, some of them small size, some of them like maybe bigger, like 20 on 20. Some of them I like busts, I made some big ones like in chunks, you know, and just put them together. It was fun time to print, but it's too much of a like I found myself maintaining the the printer, fixing it every time. Like it's too much of a technical.
Yeah, too much work for you want to create, not maintain the machine. I
hate technique. You know, I hate dealing with technical stuff when I can just I want to just create, you know. I want to,
That makes sense. Yeah.
No, I get that. I want to really quickly, because time flies when we're having fun like this. I want to touch on the toast here, the bread, which you told me was a bit of your street art tag. That was the bread. Yeah, is that the one that you were telling me?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, this is this is like a symbol I had back then.
Yeah,
It
I
was,
think it's lovely.
It's a time in my life when I was like really half living on the streets, you know, and I felt this is a symbol, you know, very basic bread, something that is so. I felt hungry, not even like hungry in the literal sense, but like emotionally hungry, you know. And the toast, like this vicious toast with a hammer in his hand, became like a symbol for me. and I sprayed it wherever I went around the world.
I think it's great. You should, yeah. It's again, it's never too late to revive some things. I constantly go over some of my old sketches, and I say, oh, wow, well, this is great. You know, let's you know, breathe some life back into it and make it reappear to the surface. Now,
Sometimes I do it. Yeah.
When you say you go into the desert, I'm just looking a little bit here at the map, Israel and such. Do you ever have the opportunity? There was some ocean, some fish. Do you ever go to the water? Because I know there's the Dead Sea, I guess.
Of course, I live now. The Dead Sea. Last time I was in the desert was the Dead Sea.
Okay.
So I did go to the Dead Sea too, and I live now on the Galilee Sea.
Okay.
Where I grew up actually, and now I can just take my bicycle and just go to swim.
So if I'm looking at the map here, so closer to like Tel Aviv?
No, more inland, like the Galilee Sea.
I see.
The Jordan River. I live just on. This is where I grew up.
Okay.
In Tiberias.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Beautiful.
So it's everywhere you step in Israel is a holy place. You know how it is.
Of course.
Religious people. So this place, like it's very. I guess when people come from abroad, from US or Canada, it's mostly pilgrims. You know.
Yes.
They come to the Jordan River. It's a very. I'm not much of a religious guy, but when you grew up in it and you're soaking in it so much, something gets inside. You know, some of it like this, and I feel like this is almost like a holy place.
Yeah.
And I used to live in Jerusalem also for like 8 years or so.
Okay.
So these things. I don't know how to put it to words, but it's like to grow up in Israel is you turn some of the artist types discover their like religious, almost it's not even religious, it's just spiritual roots.
Yes.
So sometimes it seeps in. It's something that affects me a lot, even if I don't want to admit it sometimes.
Right.
You know? But
it's inevitable, you know, that the culture to which we're exposed affects us, if not consciously, definitely subconsciously at times. So.
Yeah, and also knowing Hebrew and like to be able to understand religion from the inside, because I can open the Bible in its original language and just understand the very root of words and lately I discovered how much of what we speak in any language and how much we don't know our roots, you know. And it's very interesting for me every time to discover, especially coming back to where I grew up. So you'll see a lot of sci-fi.
I'm seeing it here now. Somebozo getting busy.
So long ago.
It's your roots, man. Though. It's where it all came from. That's awesome.
It's great. And again, the chess. So, do you like playing chess?
Yeah, yeah. I'm not so. I know I'm not so good at it, but I used
Oh,
to.
it's
Yeah.
a very difficult game, but
And
I find it's
I
one of
used
the
to
best.
make pieces. I like the pieces. I used to carve out of wood,
Yeah,
just carve
I,
pieces, and I love it.
I like chess, and I also enjoy saying I'm good at chess, but I don't think it's very true.
it's a very difficult game. I mean, I know there's the Chinese game Go, which I think has probably even more possibilities and such. But the chess is my favorite for sure, over checkers or Monopoly or any of that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
it's also without even knowing much about like chess, it's like the cultural connection to in my eyes to weird things, to psychedelia, to I don't know, it's a cultural thing. Just chess pieces. It's something that always comes back to me.
Yeah, it's
Some form.
history, thousands of years old.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
man, and I love seeing, like, I'm so glad we took the time to scroll down. I love seeing these black and white ballpoint or marker sketches.
This is wow. It gets me back. I never go back so long.
A trip down memory lane. I want to
Yeah,
thank you, my friend, for just like a very enriching half hour about your life, your culture. Um, yeah, it's
thank
such a
you.
pleasure to exchange, and I think the opportunity for us to do this again is available, right? Because next time you have some work that you're done and you want to talk about it, let's spend another half hour and chat, right?
I love to. I love to.
Absolutely.
Anytime. I had a blast, really.
Yeah, and you see, that was a half hour that didn't, that was great.
It flew by, really.
Thank you so much, my friend.
Thank you,
Um,
guys.
Thank
I
you.
wanna
That
wish
was
you
definitely enjoyable.
a wonderful evening. I know it's a little later where you are, but much love from the bottom of my heart, my friend.
Love, real.
And for anyone
Just
watching,
the guy.
check us
What?
out at Mindful DJs on Twitter for anyone watching
I
for
will.
Yeah,
more
for
shows
the
like this.
future,
And
exactly, so that
hopefully we
people
can get
know.
Somebozo on again. That would be nice.
I
Yeah, and I'm
love
sure
to.
we'll
I
find
love it.
other creative minds to connect. It'll be great to inspire each other.
Absolutely.
That sounds amazing, guy. Really good idea. Thank you guys so much, really.
Thank you so much. Much love and have a good evening.
Peace,
Love.
y'all.
Bye, guys.
Peace.